Hello everyone. Today's video I'm going to show you a recent trip that we took, how we planned the trip, what apps we used, and how we used them to plan the trip. So let's get started. Here are the 4 apps that we use when we plan our trips. We also have these in our phones so we can access them at any time. So now that we know what the apps are, let's take a look at this recent trip from Columbus, Ohio to Destin, Florida. And let's look at the first leg of it and how we use the apps to plan it out. The first thing we want to do is go to Google Maps, and we want to map out our complete trip, which starts at Columbus, Ohio, ends at Destin, Florida. It's about 868 miles. And we have a rule where we like to try to drive 300 miles or 6 hours per day. The red arrows indicate about where we think this limit would be. The first red arrow is at Knoxville, Tennessee. When we check it out from Columbus to Rocky Top, which is just north of Knoxville, it ends up 5 hours and 5 minutes, 334 miles. Now that works out good. Next thing that we need to do is look at the weather for that area. We look at AccuWeather for December 30th weather in Knoxville. High of 59, low of 41. That is good. The camper is still winterized. We will get water down there and get the camper opened up and then winterized for the rest of the trip. We go to Park Advisor and we look at our route. We find there's a Pilot Travel Center in Pioneer, Tennessee, which is north of Knoxville. This will be a good place to stop, get water, and get fuel for the pickup. Now, to find a place to stay for the night. The first thing we do is we open the Harvest Host app and we look at it. There's nothing in the area. We find a Cracker Barrel right going into Rocky Top along the interstate. Let's click the tab and take a closer look. When we open the Cracker Barrel tab, we notice that it says no overnight parking. However, we did call Cracker Barrel and we asked them, and they says it was fine to overnight park in their lot. Whenever you do that, you always want to make sure you go in and patronize the business. Okay, so that completes our first day or first leg of the trip and where we're going to stay for the night. Now, the next leg, we're going to start at Rocky Top and we're going to Birmingham, Alabama, we believe is about the same distance. One thing we're going to look for in Birmingham is a place that we can overnight park. We need groceries and some food, so possibly a Walmart will fit the bill for that. When you're planning your trips out, you always want to think and plan one step ahead of where you're at. We planned the whole trip going down, and on the trip back, you got to remember, we're going from a winterized camper into the warm, and now we're going to come back. So one of the things that we need to keep in mind is a place when we come back that we can be warm enough that we can get the camper winterized before we come back into the cold weather. We only use a few of these websites and tools and apps to do our planning, but I hope that it helps give you some insight to what's out there, what they'll do for you, and how to use them to plan your trip. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.